Welcome back to Eagle News. I'm Alfred DeSenes from Hawaii. We continue with our updates across the U.S. Going on now to Texas. Governor Greg Abbott declares a state of disaster for the state on Sunday as anti-racism protests erupt. Joining us is Rio Modequillo from the capital city of Austin. Aloha, Rio.
Aloha, Alfred, and a big howdy to you from the Lone Star State. In a press conference on Saturday, Texas Governor Greg Abbott condemned the actions that led to the senseless loss of George Floyd and encouraged Texans to exercise their First Amendment rights, but to also maintain order and protect private property. Governor Abbott sent state resources and 1,500 Department of Public Safety officers to aid law enforcement in the cities of Houston, Dallas, San Antonio, and Austin, where protests were being organized. On Sunday, however, the governor declared a state of disaster for all Texas counties in response to violent protests that took place over the weekend, threatening public safety and causing property loss and damage. Under this declaration, the governor had the ability to designate federal agents to serve as Texas peace officers. He announced that FBI tactical teams, thousands more state troopers, and 1,000 National Guard have been ordered and to assist the DPS officers and police in Houston, Dallas, San Antonio, and Austin. The governor stated that Texans' First Amendment rights are absolute and will always be protected, but violence, vandalism, and looting will not be tolerated in this state, and those found in violation of the law will be arrested and prosecuted. Here in Austin, Texas, protests took place on Saturday and Sunday. What began as a peaceful march in downtown Saturday escalated when the growing crowd blocked the flow of traffic through Interstate Highway 35, which is a major thoroughfare. We spoke to Austin residents to get their take of events this weekend. Let's take a look.
My name is Irene Talioga. I live here in Austin for about 28 and a half years now. Yesterday I was driving home from San Antonio, and as I was approaching Austin, the downtown area of Austin, I noticed the traffic was getting bad, and I turned on my radio and I heard that there has been a growing number of protesters on the death of George Floyd. And they gathered in the state capitol, and immediately the number grew, in the Austin area, especially along the main freeway of IH-35 here in Austin. So they blocked the freeway, and the cops, the police officers, warned the protesters that they have to clear the freeway, and they used some kind of spray, looks like tear gas, and they dispersed. Immediately, some ran south side of town and north side of town. The crowd just went, in different directions. The police officers were on high alert, and the state capitol as well, the state troopers. I noticed there's also helicopters making sure that the demonstration is peace, and they're trying to do this peacefully. There are a series of demonstrations happening throughout the nation, and including here in Austin. We are trying to keep the city safe, but these protesters, they want to be heard. And we hope that our city officials, local government, will continue to talk about how they can keep, the community safe. The neighborhood, of course, they're very nervous about it. The residents here in Austin, including, the people that live around the area where the demonstration happened, and hopefully that this will come to an end.
I know there's protests going on in Austin right now because George Floyd's death. And today while I was driving around the neighborhood, I saw a girl was holding a sign with Black Lives Matter. I think that's a nice to do a peaceful protest instead of destroy your city, burning down a building. And people don't forget there's still a coronavirus going on right now. And when I was driving with my neighborhood, I think it's fine. I don't see anybody like mean to each other. People still nice, very peaceful, and respectful.
The Austin Police Department stated on Twitter Saturday, while most of the demonstrations have been peaceful, some people have thrown rocks, bricks, eggs, water bottles, and Molotov cocktails. The Austin Police Department has used less lethal rounds during the course of events. Chief Brian Manley announced on Twitter Saturday, "Our officers are working to keep the community safe with compassion, professionalism, and respect as the demonstration continues downtown. We appreciate peaceful protests and will continue providing a safe space for the community to express emotions." In Austin, Texas, I'm Rio Madiquillo, Eagle News. We live in interesting times. Alfred?
Mahalo, and thank you very much for that update there in Texas. Now, just from my recollection, Austin is the capital, but it's not the largest city, correct? You have Dallas up north, and then Houston down south, which are much larger cities.
Yes.
So I would imagine the level of violence is more visible in those cities compared to Austin. But you mentioned some activity on Saturday and today, Sunday. Has there been any activity already going on around Thursday, Friday time frame that you can recall?
Around Thursday, Friday, not that I know of, but from the past couple of days, it has the big, I guess, announcement of activity was Saturday, especially with everyone starting off as a peaceful protest, and then it became more people became more on edge, and more people gathered, and that crowd that ended up slowing down our traffic on I-35. You know, Alfred, from what I've seen, though, as of today, the atmosphere is, you know, from people they're very cautious, especially with what is happening, everything that's happening in our country with the pandemic and, you know, this unfortunate situation that had happened.
Yeah, that's right, Rio. Of course, the pandemic. Oh, by the way, tomorrow, June 1st, is the start of hurricane season. So you have your state there has its hands full. So you guys just prepare what you can and be safe. Thank you again for that update, Rio, and you take care, please.
Thank you, you too.